We drinking? You've been drinking.
No, I haven't had anything yet.
Okay.
You just had a sip. That's something.
I didn't sip. I sniffed.
Oh.
Oh, we're sniffing.
It's a good sniff. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of This Is My Bourbon podcast, where we discuss the spirit of Kentucky. My name's Perry. Thank you all so much for being here with me this week. And I have two very special guests. One is now on. This is going to be his second official appearance. Your third one's going to come out in the future. Papa Ritter.
Hey, Perry.
Hey, Dad.
How are you, buddy? Thanks for having me back.
Hey,
I am so glad to be back. We're going to have a lot of fun today.
Oh, yes, we are. And then the third member of the show today, as you could tell, there was another voice in there, is my little brother, Dane.
Hello.
We've shouted out to you a couple times, Dane. We're glad you're
Dane's
here.
a real professional.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me today, Perry.
We are not on NPR, I promise you. We've gone a long way from Friday afternoon video games to drinking bourbon.
Drinking together on a Friday afternoon.
Drinking bourbon.
I'm not even legal.
Don't do that. Yes, he is.
He's 22.
Yes, he's
22.
He's 22. The cops are going to... What do we... Okay.
There's a real
I'm the one that's not
crossover
legal.
there's a real crossover in
That's
listenership between police officers and bourbon drinkers. Anyway.
Two things real fast before we get started, okay?
Okay.
My good friend Stephanie Lester's got a big day coming up on Tuesday, okay? So we're going to be thinking about her.
Cheers to Stephanie.
Praying for her. I've been wearing a lot of pink lately. So
Cheers, Stephanie.
Cheers to Stephanie.
I'm going to adjust the mic
Dave's
just a
wearing a
little
pink T-shirt too, so.
Anytime.
Anytime?
I like pink.
Anyway.
He looks good in pink.
So our first pour of the show goes to Old Forester 86 proof. This bottle, Dane, is from 1995. What does that mean?
It's a year older than me.
It's a year older than you,
He's
Dane.
23 years old.
It's
well,
like
I mean,
drink a dinosaur pee, you know?
You got to keep that in.
jeez. Yeah, sure, Dane. It's like drinking dinosaur pee. We lost Dane already.
He's gone.
He's
About to lose Dad, too.
Yeah, I reviewed this on the show a few weeks ago with Justin Thompson of Justin's House of Bourbon. We're actually going to be reviewing their pick of Wathen's Barrel Proof here at the end of the show. But anyway, in honor of having Dane on the show for the first time, and in honor of Stephanie, we say cheers.
Cheers.
Drink something older than me.
Cheers.
Mmm.
Wow, that's really, really good.
Yes, it's really different.
Good.
Yeah.
Got different.
It's kind of like,
It's really kind of light.
yeah. Well, I mean, for one, it's 86 proof. Two, it's 4 years old, and then it's also like for me, it's kind of musty almost.
Yeah, a little bit.
But you know, I got this bottle. I've told this story on the show before. I got this bottle
Haven't heard it.
secondhand from a buddy.
It's been used?
For what? We can't disclose.
Use Bourbon Store.
Use me. Anyway, I got it secondhand from a guy who didn't actually like it that much. And so I said, well, I'll take it. And
Just like that.
just like that.
Gee, I have one of those bottles down here.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Saturday morning. I ain't got nothing else to do.
Saturday morning.
Well, I went over. He texted me on a Saturday, and I went over and.
Jeez, okay. I don't.
The
Oh,
Barter House.
yeah, that's right. The Barter House. I
The
forgot.
Barter House.
Sorry.
Now it's no
Yeesh.
hit. It's not. Go ahead, Perry. Tell your story, and we'll. I can't.
That's
go
it.
ahead.
I got it secondhand.
Oh, okay.
So it's been around longer than I've been in possession of it. But anyway. So Dad, never mind. Doesn't matter. So one of the ways we like to get the show kicked off is by asking what we've been drinking recently. Dane, what you been drinking recently?
What you been drinking?
Well, one of our cousins gave me A nice Woodford glass set came with a bottle of Woodford. I've been drinking that. Nice Valentine's Day gift to me.
Okay.
It's not gone yet?
No. That's nice stuff. I'm not going to put it in my mixed drinks for parties on the
No
weekend,
way, dude.
No.
It's what you sip on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dad, what you been drinking?
Last night I had the Peppers 1776.
The
That's
bourbon.
Which you all reviewed with Chad and Sarah.
With Chad and Sarah, the first time they were on.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
It's
But-
not the best thing I've
No.
ever had. It wouldn't be something I'd give a first time drinker by any means,
Mm-mm. But
it's serviceable.
I think I told you last week that, man, I've kind of gotten stuck in the Jefferson's
Mm-hmm.
rut, which is not. It's a good rut to be stuck in.
Sure.
Because I think that what they produced last year is my favorite of most production that was out last year.
Yeah.
I mean, they were just not only did we get to go to the tasting tent at Bourbon and Beyond, that has really nothing to do with it. They put some amazing products out last year,
Definitely.
and I have some I haven't opened. The one I thought we might even try later.
Sure.
But anyway, that's it. Pear
Cool.
and Dane. Dane.
Dad.
And this could go on for hours. I've been drinking.
Hey, what you been drinking?
Huh?
What you been drinking?
What I've been drinking? I've been drinking more of that Knob Creek store pick. We talked about.
That we got at Justin's?
I've been drinking that one. I've been drinking another one from Kroger Wine and Spirits in Frankfurt. For whatever reason, I've been drinking Ancient Age 90 is kind of an everyday sipper.
I saw
it's
that.
Not, it's not great.
No.
But it's fine. It's like a $14 bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could be much worse.
I just pulled up a bottle of Old Forester's 1897, which is
It's a bottle.
it's bottled in bond,
right?
yeah, and it's 100 proof, and it's
That's
okay.
solid, yeah.
It's okay.
It's not my favorite. Are we going to be drinking the Statesman in a little bit too? Do you want to try that
We
for the
could.
first time? Yeah, Dad
Okay.
picked up a bottle of Old Forester Statesman, which I've talked about on the show before. It's not my favorite, but
It's 95 proof.
it's okay. We'll give it a shot. May as well.
It seems like
Get it?
You told me not to take this like a shot. Am I doing it wrong?
No, continue drinking it the way that you are. So Dane,
Perry.
as we do with first-time drinkers on the show, Dad's holding up his little mini bottle of Willet pot still. As we do with first-time guests, I think I said first-time drinkers, actually. Yeah, sorry.
He's not a first time drinker.
As we do with,
Been doing this for a whole year.
as we do with first-time guests on the show, I like to ask them, how'd you start drinking bourbon? Or how'd you get into it?
No, he's trying to make a story up because I know. Mom and Dad were out one night.
I think that is probably it. No, I mean, like, are you talking about me being out with you? Or you all being away and me, like, trying to get into it? No, that's not it.
Okay.
I didn't have a
gonna
sip of
say it's
anything
a-
until you
it's a
offered it to me.
Podcast
really-
exclusive is what I thought was about to happen.
I'm such a bad influence.
I don't know.
I didn't realize this was that much of a thinker.
I don't know when the first time I had bourbon is.
Okay, well, why did you keep going back to bourbon? Any day,
Put me
man.
on the spot here.
Well, you put me on the spot too,
Why don't I go back to bourbon, Dad?
because Dad buys it for you.
Sure. I mean,
Well, you go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
No, I was gonna just go let you say you have the floor and the mic.
I think it's. The taste is more approachable than stuff like vodka or gin or anything gross.
Gin is beyond gross. Don't
Yeah.
even get me going. Chattanooga, Tennessee. Don't even get me on.
So I think it's the taste more than anything.
We always kind of talk about the coolness factor of bourbon too. Like, there's just something so cool and visceral about having a glass of bourbon as opposed to like a glass of vodka, because it makes you feel like sophisticated and everything, and you hang out with people, and
This is the height of luxury.
yeah.
And if you and if you order it correctly, such as I'll have a Wild Turkey 101 on the rocks or neat, or I'll have a Maker's 46 Manhattan up. If you order it correctly, it shows you know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know that you like what you're doing, and you like to drink and enjoy the bourbon slowly.
Right.
And it's such a good conversation starter too if you order something specific like Turkey 101 neat or on the rocks or anything, because it's always fun. We went to a place in Lexington called Louis' Wine Dive, and I ordered a glass of bourbon. I think I ordered, what was it? Did I order Eagle Rare?
Mm-hmm.
And that was like my second drink, and the bartender was like, okay, now that I know that you're serious, we have Weller. It's like, okay, great, let's do that.
I ordered something. I can't remember what I ordered. I think it was Eagles Rare too.
Yeah.
And he goes, now that you guys know what you're doing, that's right. And he goes, let's break
we
out
have
the Weller.
We have 107. We have the Special Reserve, and we were like, oh, let's get the 107.
107.
Yeah. Anyway, so Dane's answer is it just gotta happen.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay.
I mean, that is a lot of the way that goes with drinking anything, I think. But
Well, it's not. I've always heard from Scotch drinkers. Oh, I just got a text. That it's an acquired taste. That Scotch is an acquired taste.
It is.
And it is, and I don't like it.
I don't either.
I don't know if I've ever
It tastes like
tried
iodine. That's on here. But I mean, it's not for me. Now, your all's grandparents, my parents drank it, and I just don't see how.
All the power to him.
I know. I just don't see how they
All the
could
power
do
to
it.
him. I'm not. No, thank you.
And I don't think if I said this earlier or not, but my Aunt Ann was my dad's sister was one of the first people I ever saw drink bourbon and water.
I think you said that the first.
Yeah.
Or alluded to it or
Yeah.
something the first episode you were on. But anyway, cool. Well, Dane and I,
Uh-oh.
we're still in college. I'm in my 7th and final year. Dane's in his 4th and final year. And to the pleasure of that. We, as with a lot of college drinkers, it's typical for you to drink cheaper. So today I want to talk about, or today, whenever you're listening, I wanted to talk about our cheaper drinking options when it comes to bourbon. Dane, I know that you have a specific cheap bourbon that you typically go to, right?
A handle.
Yes,
handle
sir.
of.
I sure do.
Sir, I'll take that one, please.
This one?
You sure you can handle this, son?
Was that fun?
Bye. So, handle benchmark is $17 at Liquor Barn Express, and that'll last you for 4 months. It's not good bourbon. It's not good, but it'll get you where you're going.
Benchmark gives me a headache. I can't drink Benchmark without.
Probably because it's not been filtered ever.
But stuff like, okay, so
Who is it distilled by?
Buffalo Trace.
That's right.
Yeah. It was a brand that they bought from Seagram's a while ago. But stuff like Wathen's, this barrel proof that we're going to be trying, because it's barrel proof, it's not super filtered. Like, it still has, a lot of what comes right out of the barrel. And that doesn't give me a headache. There's just something, I don't know, there's just something about Benchmark where
I have not tried it.
you're not missing much.
I didn't think so.
You're not missing much. I'll be really honest with you.
Yeah, it's about as good as Jim.
Oh, I think it's worse than Jim.
It's better than KT or KG,
Yeah.
but
It straddles the line between
How much is Jim?
A handle of Jim Beam's like
A little bit more expensive, like
Like
$2 more.
Well, Jesus, Dane, you can handle that, can't you?
I shrugged.
You've acquired a taste for Benchmark.
Just never fails. I might pay for it the following day, but it doesn't fail.
4 months on a handle. Jeez.
That's a big handle. Tell him about the Twinkie.
Twinkie. Dad, when you were drinking cheaper, what would you normally get?
I think I told you that it was like early times.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
I think so.
I
Dad's
think it was-
got the
I think it
cost.
was early times because that's what Mimi and Pop, that's what my parents had at their house.
Now everybody knows how Everybody's
So
gonna...
Dad's actually the one that stole into the liquor supply, not
Yeah,
me.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, I admit it.
I've never done it.
Oh, I admit it. Oh, hey, I'm 50.
He's straight up about it.
I'm 53 years old. I'm holding nothing back these days.
One of his
It's-
parents isn't going to listen to this.
Yeah, one of them,
And the other one's
the other
definitely not
one's-
the other one
gonna
not
listen.
either. So
The
So-
other one standing up there, he's like, mm-mm.
he knows.
I
Well, he's
knew
probably
it.
giving him the thumbs up.
Listen, he
I
did it
the
too.
same thing when I was your
He
age.
did it too. And so did his brother, and so did his two sisters. So
Of course they did. Dad, you want to break out the
Yeah.
Statesman?
yeah.
Where'd he go?
Come up here, boy.
Jeez.
So what did I?
Quick about the Statesman. It came out, and if you want to see, I did an uncorking of it with Chad and Sarah on its bourbon night.
Okay.
But real quick about it, it came out as kind of a promotional item for Kingsman: The Golden Circle, and it's an okay movie.
I've heard it's an okay comic book.
Look, the Secret Service, the first Kingsman movie is actually pretty good. I really liked it, but the sequel was kind of rough. Here, Dad.
No, I got it.
Okay.
I hope they do this. I mean, ready?
Dad's having fun. Hey,
Sweet.
perfect.
Do I get the first?
Yeah, sure, why not?
No.
It's a 95 proofer. It's at least 4 years old.
Gonna go a little lighter than that.
But
Do what?
Dane's going a little lighter than your pour.
Oh, it's got like a
If you
caramel smell.
If you want to get my initial reaction to this the first time I tried it, go to It's Bourbon Night. I'll link it below in
It
the
smells really good.
in the description. We'll let it sit open for a little bit so
Absolutely.
you can breathe some too.
Barry's not.
See, I'm not as big
digging
of a fan as as you all are on the nose.
I've never. This is my first shot of it, dog.
Yeah, the nose is like it's really
It's
like
got a-
citrusy.
It has a very lighter color
Yeah,
to it as well.
tastes like bananas.
Not a fan.
Nope.
It's got a weird finish.
Yeah, it has a very strange finish. Ugh.
Yeah.
It's like
It's dry.
It's smooth, but it doesn't taste good.
The finish is
dry.
yeah.
It's so different than the than the 86 proof. I mean, it's like it has a it's got it like tingly.
My favorite thing about this label, though, is that the very last line on the back is "There is nothing better in the market."
Oh, I think there is.
I would respectfully disagree.
I think there's plenty right here on my floor that's better.
Yeah,
But let's not knock it all that bad. It's drinkable.
it is. It's just not what I'm not gonna.
It's not Willie Nelson stuff.
I'm just not. I'm happy I haven't splurged on a bottle of it. I have said many times, get Old Forester 1920 instead.
Well, I can't
which is
buy-
which is 20 proofage points higher, and a little bit more expensive than this, but it's a much better bourbon.
I saw something this morning. I was kind of torn between that and this, and I was going to take a picture and send it to you. Noah's something?
Noah's Mill.
Noah's Mill.
Yeah, Noah's Mill's fantastic.
Is it?
Yeah,
How old man was it? Noah's something? I don't know.
Get that clicker. It never worked right anyway.
I can't find a clicker.
It's a Willet product. It used to be. I think it used to have a 15-year age statement. I can't remember for sure. It's very good. It's really peanut buttery. I'll bring you a sample.
Okay. I was like,
Or get a bottle.
I can't. I'll just get a bottle. I was at the local liquor distributor this morning, restocking my wine refrigerator.
Wine fridge.
And I was kind of milling around, waiting for hopefully a sign from the gods that the Blantons and the Wellers were going to make an appearance this morning. But no, damn it, they didn't. And so I got the Statesman instead.
And you had intended yesterday to go find Blanton's as well, didn't
Yes,
you?
but I decided to spend the morning in the ER with our daughter, Sarah, Perry and Dane's sister,
Decided.
who,
Got in a tussle with an avocado.
yes,
She brought a knife to
brought a knife to the refrigerator, and
A knife to a knife fight?
yeah, and
She just wasn't prepared.
the avocado won. And as she put in her admitting paper,
Suffered a
minor stab wound, and the admitting nurse goes, "Were you playing with knives?" And if you know Sarah, no, she wasn't.
No, she was not. Anyway, so Dad bought.
work on this and
Yeah, that's
put
fine.
it down.
So Dad bought Statesman instead of Blanton's or
Did
Weller.
they have it?
Unfortunately,
Do you know that they
I
have
have,
Blanton's history?
I have no idea.
Because I was like, oh, hell, I'll drive out there and I better go and see Sarah.
She can live another couple minutes bleeding out.
She won't please.
Infinity bottle.
Oh, have you been keeping track of what's in your infinity bottle?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
A bunch of stuff I dumped in there.
No, all right, that's
the
fine.
little bit of Eagles Rare I had in the
Mhm.
last bottle is in there. And
Do you know what the infinity bottle is?
Did you just put all the leftover stuff?
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's it taste?
I haven't tried it yet.
No, it wouldn't.
No, that's just pretty good because it's gonna taste like Makers.
Because there's a lot of makers in
Because
there.
there's a lot of Makers
Okay.
in it, and there's a lot of good stuff that I'm like getting every drop out of that I don't want to put in there.
I have one too, and I keep track of everything that I put in.
No,
there.
I haven't.
It's not a bad idea. I don't know. I'd be
See-
worried about the final result.
See, the thing for me is that
It's
and
a free bottle of bourbon, you know.
Yeah.
and I've said this before many times on the show, but for me, it's not just like keeping a record of everything that I've had. For me, it's also like at some point I'll be able to pass it on to my kids. So it's something that's completely unique, and nobody else will be able to have.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's the whole mindset behind the infinite.
so good too. I mean,
Oh yeah, I mean you
Yeah.
did such a great job tearing off
It's
the
very abstract.
the label from the maker's bottle
still working on it.
a little bit every day.
Yeah, when they hand dip this wax, no fooling.
Goes on there.
This stuff stays on. You can't get it off. You
I had the worst time getting it off of the bottle of cast strength that you gave us for Christmas. I was
Oh,
sitting
just
there-
like
I was sitting
opening
there-
it?
Yeah, I was sitting there for like
Yeah.
20 minutes getting just this tiny piece of the wax off. I'm like, every day now, I got bourbon to drink.
Have you finished that?
Nope.
Oh gosh, no.
Good.
Now that's got to stick around for a while. At 110.
Listen, that's good bourbon, man.
It's good stuff. Yeah.
It's the Maker's Cast Strength that we're talking about, of course. And I have a bottle down here that I think I've had for over a year, and I just got ready
For a new one.
for a new one.
I like it with just a couple drops of water.
Yeah.
Not too much, but just enough to kind of bring out some of the flavors in it. Jefferson's Ocean.
This is opened up,
Oh, good.
and it's good.
Yeah, because I remember Dad's holding up Jefferson's Ocean Aged at Sea, Voyage 10. It's
cast
The
strength.
cast strength.
Yeah.
And we had it for Dane's birthday.
Right.
And we were all like, oh, this is okay.
Wait.
It was like early in the night.
He had it tough. He turned 22 hard, boys and girls. It was tough.
I don't remember that.
It was a tough, bad, long night.
I just shoved whatever in my hand. And I was like,
Let's do it. My favorite was that you tried the Old Forester birthday bourbon, which comes out once a year and sells at like $100, and you're like, it tastes like Makers.
In my drunken state, it tasted like Makers.
I like that. That's your benchmark for what everything tastes.
It tastes
like.
like Makers.
It's better than benchmark being my benchmark, you know.
Yeah, goodness.
What do you
So
think?
back.
Or you keep talking. I'm not. Gonna open it
So
yet.
back to the topic at hand.
Which one?
Well, cheap bourbon.
Oh,
You being drunk.
on my birthday.
For me, the cheaper stuff falls either to like Wild Turkey 101, because it's a higher proof bourbon, or like Buffalo Trace. They're all pretty cheap. Would you not?
Wait,
touch
can I
my
can I
microphone,
harp on
please?
101 real fast?
Yeah, sure.
And no hit against it. It's fantastic.
Mhm.
But it's funny how I've only had it 2 times,
Mhm.
and I have a little bit right now while we're talking about it.
Sure, go ahead.
So this will be the 3rd time. The first time I had it was at a party, and I was like, "Whoa!"
Mhm.
The last time I had it was last week, and I was not like, "Whoa!"
And that was, you haven't had it since.
And I haven't had it since.
So it's probably opened up a little bit since then. I can understand why you might not like it as much as Makers, because Makers is your go-to.
yeah, but
Because this has it's a high rye bourbon, you know. Makers, that's all right. Makers is a weeded bourbon.
right. But what I'm trying to do, and what I've been trying to do for over the past year, is kind of break away from Makers. Yeah, it's my home, and I've said this before. It's our house bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why, and as second, third time that we've done this, I'm standing in my part of the bar. One reason why the floor is covered with bourbon bottles is that I'm trying different things just to venture out. Now,
You're welcome.
yes, thank you, Evan Williams. Evan Williams is, what's the bottle I have back there?
The single barrel?
Yeah.
Yeah, Evan Williams single barrel. That's become one of Dad's favorites, which is kind of surprising. But
It's an 86 proof single barrel. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's so smooth.
what's the year on that on the front there?
2010.
Oh, okay. So the 2010s are starting to roll out. I haven't seen too many of them, but
But the Yellowstone Select is excellent too.
on your mic.
Shoot, sorry about that. The Yellowstone
Can
Select.
only boost your voice so much.
Sorry,
in
I really
post.
apologize about that. Yellowstone Select is good too. It's great. Great bourbon.
But for me, Turkey 101 is it's like $20.
What do you think,
Dane's
Dane?
not a big
digging
fan.
it.
So my roommate, Aaron, had a bottle of, I guess, just regular wild turkey
Mm.
last year in our room. And I remember trying it one night and it just...
Not your thing.
No, it's not my thing. I don't like it.
Well, it's a little bit spicier.
I'm not digging it.
So that's interesting.
I'm not digging it.
It's just wild turkey in general.
And I
don't
had
know.
it. I had it both times. Made with on the rocks with a splash,
Mm-hmm.
and this is neat. I don't know. I'm not digging it. No knocking. And when we say we don't like it, it's no knock against the
turkey drinkers.
the drinkers or even the distillers.
Well, of course. I mean, I'm one of the.
I mean, you like what
turkey
you like.
drinker, and I really like it. And then you start getting up into like Russell's Reserve, which is also a turkey product. I mean, that's fantastic too. But again, that's off topic from
cheap bourbon.
from cheap bourbon.
Oops. It was like a 19-minute...
Well, I had a
Diatribe.
I had a very expensive bourbon last Saturday night.
Oh yeah, you dad
and
had.
I don't
one.
want to tell you what we don't want to tell it what it is.
Okay.
I don't want to tell.
Dad had something that's kind of hard to find, but
Didn't
he
like
he
it.
wasn't a big fan of it.
I don't think it was prepared correctly. I think it was watered. I think it was watered down. I think if I had it neat or on the rocks a little bit, I think it would have been different and better. But I just thought it was okay.
Try it neat next time. If you get it somewhere else.
I ain't paying any $35 for it. I get the bill, Dane.
Here we go.
The bill, our meals combined cost less than
Then one pour.
than one pour. I was like, "What's
Kim was
wrong?"
real happy.
She's like, "What's wrong?" I go, "Oh."
How many glasses did we have? This
I know.
But like the nice thing about cheap bourbons too, and having kind of go-to cheapers, is like when you go to a bar, you're not paying an arm and a leg
Right.
for anything, and that's another reason too why I like Wild Turkey 101, especially when I go out, is that you can usually get it for $5 or less per glass. Now for like everyday cheap drinkers, and let me provide this caveat too. Cheap for me is like 30 or 25 and under, you know. And I completely forgot Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond, the 6-year. I mean that's an incredible cheap drinker.
As I'm holding it in my left hand,
It's $12.
it's $12, and this is 100 proof, bottled and bond. Perry turned me on to this. It is incredible,
it's
and it's
fantastic.
cheap.
Yeah.
You can get this, Dane.
Hey, if they've got a handle.
Dude, they
sign me up.
haven't. I think
Well, they have handles of
Regular
the
Heaven.
6-year 90 proof, which is the green label.
Right.
Which is it's
Is that
much
still good?
Oh yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Good.
It's much better than Benchmark.
so
Not hard.
So what I did, we also went to, we also went to Buffalo Trace last week. Kathy and I did, and went through that video. Hey, if you're listening and you get a chance to go to Buffalo Trace, go. It is fantastic.
Absolutely.
One thing I didn't know, he explained what bottled and bond meant, and that it's like governed by the government, but it's also 100 proof, no matter what, bottled and bond,
And at least 4 years old.
and at least 4 years old.
And it's one of those things too where it provides for it's not guaranteed quality.
No,
But you know, it is nice to know that you're getting at least 100 proof and at least 4 years. And usually bottled and bond bourbons are pretty cheap. Like very old Barton bottled and bond you can get for $14, $15.
and then you can get E.H. Taylor in the cylinder for $40,
Yeah.
and it's worth every drop.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So anyway, that's just my thoughts on
Real cheap bourbon discussion.
good old cheap bourbon.
Cheap
But
bourbon.
on the opposite end of that, we're gonna drink something that was not as much of a cheap bourbon. In the
Oh, no.
Wathen's barrel proof pick from
Did you get some?
Justin's House of Bourbon. I did not.
Oh, so you have not had this?
I've not had this yet. No.
Well, Perry and I went to Justin's House of Bourbon on opening
2 weeks
day
ago, yeah.
2 weeks ago, and they had two picks. One was the Knob Creek Single Barrel 120 proof.
It's 13-year instead
It's
of the regular
13-year,
9
yeah.
years.
And
It's very good.
where did we get this? This is age 9. Okay, so where did we get this at? Did you get that for me at the liquor?
This is
Barn?
12 actually. This is a 12-year. Yeah, this was you got this at Liquor Barn.
Okay.
Hand selected by No Shoot. Shoot.
No shoot. What is
No
it?
shirt, no shoes, no service, and bourbon. Bourbon snobs will understand the joke there.
I don't get it.
It's okay. We're good. Anyway, so we're gonna drink the Justin's House of Bourbon Wathen's barrel proof pick.
And when I went back to get your cord for it, for your laptop,
Oh yeah, because I recorded an episode there and I left my laptop.
they were out.
Yeah, they were out on the Monday that I went back to record with Justin. Dane's standing.
My legs got tired. And
Okay.
I wasn't even standing.
You okay? You need to go lay down? or
I'm
something?
good.
All right.
Jeez. And Dad's going for the cork pop, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice twisting action.
Any day now. Oh, okay.
I didn't want to spill any.
That was all right.
Yeah,
It's okay though. It's not a it's not a cork. Okay, so we're all three going to be drinking out of Glencairn glasses.
Pour them up here.
Oh boy, I get to do the honors.
You should, dog.
Get me drunk.
Mom and Lindsay are happy to hear that. Get me drunk, man.
How's it smell, boys?
Kind of subtle scent.
Yeah.
You really gotta stick your nose.
Well, that's the whole point of the Glencairn.
Right.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Dane's getting the barrel proof on it. So, quick things,
man.
real quick about the proof. Dane, are you ready for this?
Tell me.
It's 116.9 proof. And this is
Like that 0.9 makes the big difference. You gotta throw that in there.
well, this is what came out.
It's like getting gas.
I mean, it's what
The 3/4 is what matters.
Yeah.
9/10 of a dollar.
Yeah.
But this is what it came out of the barrel at.
Okay.
So,
This is
oh yeah, the
bottle
nose
number-
isn't super,
This isn't.
but there is still some. There's some woodiness on it though. There's some caramel in there too. I actually quite like the nose. It's
Yeah,
not over.
very perfumey. I like it.
Yeah, it's not overpowering, but
Checking legs.
that's okay.
Checking heavy legs.
I get some like fruitiness in there too. It's actually, I mean, it's just sitting there opening up for a little bit. It's actually quite complex. I like it. I'm getting something different every time I'm going back. Which before I've said I'm not a big fan of, but
I'm getting something different too. Man, it hits your nose.
there's something kind of nestled underneath there too, like cinnamon or.
Dane's ready to just knock it back.
Don't knock it back. So a funny story about Dane knocking the bourbon back real quick.
Forget this.
Christmas a couple years ago.
This was last year.
This was Christmas Eve.
Yeah. I brought over a sample of Van Winkle 12 Lot B, and so for everybody to try, I poured some for Dane, and he immediately shot it. He didn't drink it or sip it. He shot it. And I was like, what are you doing?
My mistake.
Yes, Dane, your mistake. Anyway, boys.
Cheers.
Wathen's barrel proof. Cheers.
Ooh.
Oh, it's the best ringing. Oh, that's good.
Oh my!
Wow.
Wow!
Oh,
that's
that's good.
This is a special occasion.
It like tingles in your mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, hey! If anybody from Wathen's is listening, it's called. What's the name of the podcast?
This is my bourbon podcast.
This is my bourbon
Hopefully
podcast.
They've listened.
Hopefully you're listening again today because man, oh man, if you want to send it, shoot me an email.
It gets better.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it definitely
longer
gets.
it sits
It
around.
definitely gets better.
Let me.
I tasted caramel just now. Wow.
It's also barrel 12 of 25
Mm-hmm.
and bottle number 101
Of
198.
Of 198, and I mean that means that there were only. Oh, jeez, sorry. It just keeps.
so good.
It's
so good.
The longer it sits in your mouth.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. But I mean that means that there were only 25 barrels ever of this. Well, not ever, but like at one time. So we got a bottle of it.
So Charles Medley, you know,
If you're still alive,
if you're still
this could
if
be a
you're still
namesake
alive,
bourbon. This is one of the better things I've had recently. if not the best thing that I've had in recent memory. I have really,
thing of the four that we've had today.
I am really, really enjoying this.
Yeah, this is really good.
We all drink at the same time, so there's just a split end of dead air. Whatever.
Your hairs have split ends too. So
Yes, thank you.
Freudian slip. But not really.
Not really.
Okay,
Dane also got really loaded on that Christmas Eve too.
I think we all did.
I remember. Perry does not.
Oh, I stopped.
Was that not the Christmas Eve that we went running up and down the street?
Probably. Probably. It was cold as crap, though.
Oh, it was just horribly cold.
But I remember, I stopped and I was told, like, you're too loud. No,
By me, I said it.
There's
did.
a small point where Perry couldn't open his eyes. So, yeah.
I was tired.
He had a
He had a
long
long
day.
day.
Hey, it's Christmas Eve. What do you want from me?
We talked about the Christmas Eve where it was right after Pop died. And we go to Suggins and Perry goes, Dad, I got 3.5 more years of college left. Perry, I want to choke you right now.
He had a long day, Dad. No choking.
That was a fun time. Anyway, so for the purpose of the review on the show, Dad, how
Out
much
of-
was this bottle?
God, Perry, I can't remember. Was it?
I think it was 90.
It was
something.
it was less than $100.
Yeah. So we'll round it out at 90.
It's the second most expensive bottle I have on the floor.
Don't put it on the floor anymore. You might have put it on the bar.
Yeah.
Anyway, so for anybody who hasn't listened before, and I think that falls to Dane as well, we have a review system.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We have a review system of nose, palette, finish, and price. Each category is out of 5. And then at the end, we tally it up for a total out of 20. Yeah.
5 categories? Nose?
No, each category is out of
out
of 5. Yeah.
Nose, palette, finish, price.
I've just had too much Wathens. Gotta really enunciate the podcast.
There's no H there either. So
There is no H.
Podcasting 101 with Dane Ritter.
We are professionals.
We lost him. Dad, do you want to go first on the review?
You know, I might have to go across the board and give it.
I was about to do the
and
same.
give it the highest we can give it.
You're gonna give it a 20 out of 20?
I think so.
What?
I think so.
We got nose,
Yeah.
palate,
Yes.
finish,
Yes.
taste,
Price.
price. Okay.
I mean, okay. I tell you what. I'm
was
going to
gonna
cut
say-
back just a bit.
Let's talk about this a little bit more.
Let's cut back a bit. For the top 3, I think we're right at around a 5, 4 or 5. For the price,
we'll give it 4.5.
You can do
price,
that.
Cross.
all right, 4.5. For the price, I'd give it like probably 3.5 to 4.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
I
we're
mean,
nothing if
granted-
not critical here on the show.
Let's go back though. It is a store pick. You're not going to get this. You're going to pay for it because you're not going to find it again.
No, absolutely not. But
And
that,
it's a whole lot better than the $35 pour I had on Saturday night.
5-star rating right there.
But for everyday drinker who's not going to be able to spend $90,
this is not an everyday drinker
it's not.
by any means.
Yeah, no, this is a special
Wolf.
occasion.
If
Drink.
this were an everyday drinker,
You'd be a rich man.
you'd be in the you'd be in the hole.
He was saying mother lover there.
I didn't say anything.
So you're giving it 4.5 on the first 3, and then a 3.5 on price.
Yeah.
Okay, so your score is gonna round out at a 17. Dane, what about you? Do you want to go for the same?
No. I will get a bit.
You're going to give a bit?
I will
more
give it
critical?
a solid 5 on nose.
Okay.
Get a 4
Okay.
on palate.
Palette. There you go.
You got 9 right there.
Dad's doing math over there. Say it's a 4.5 on the finish.
Okay.
I'm just gonna make this as hard as I can for you.
Okay.
And then I don't spend $90 on anything.
But Dad does.
So I'm gonna give it a 3. It's bad when you crack yourself up.
It's good when you know you've done a funny thing.
Pats on the back for Dane.
The old man's shaking his head here.
So Dad gave it a 17 out of 20. Dan gave it a 16.5 out of 20.
See, I told you it's impossible as possible.
Have some water.
I'm not even drunk.
He's just having a good time.
Having a good time.
Oh.
So for me, I'm going to give the nose a 4. It's really complex and everything. I wish that it weren't so different every time that I tried it. I really wanted it to be kind of a little bit more consistent where I could break it down after a couple of smells. Palate, though, I'm going to give a 4.5. It's so close to being perfect, I think. It's so close to it.
that close.
But it's not quite there. It needs just something a little bit more to push it over. Finish, I'm going to give a 4. Because it's a really good finish, but there's just a little bit too much heat on the back end for me. But it does have the nice like Kentucky hug and everything that I like. And I think I'm going to give the price of 4.5. And the Dane disagrees with me.
It's really clear who drinks benchmarking.
Soon to be Heaven Hill, though.
Yeah, Dane's going to graduate to Heaven Hill. We've lost Dane.
He's got to cough it up.
Because I love that it's so unique. It's so different from everything you're going to have, especially as a pick, especially as a barrel-proof bourbon. Honestly, this is one of the smoother barrel-proof bourbons I've ever had.
I haven't had many barrel-proof bourbons, but this is really, really, really smooth.
I mean, I would drink this over the Jefferson's cask. I would drink this over Maker's cask as well. I mean, I think this is...
Okay, well, I'm not getting you this for Christmas, okay?
Why?
Well, there's...
It's $90 freaking.
and unavailable now.
He said loving dollars.
Oh, my God.
Thank you, Dane. So anyway, Dad and I agree at 17 out of 20. Dane's at 16.5 out of 20.
So
but that's
high
a good
review.
I'm just contrary.
That's
this-
a high review for a fantastic bourbon.
Yeah, absolutely,
you're
absolutely.
just, like I said, you're not going to find what we're drinking right now.
It's a shame that you can't get this. I mean, this is... I mean, like I said, this is my favorite thing I've had in a long time. Oh, my gosh.
Wait, hang on. It says here that it can cause birth defects.
Are you pregnant?
Wait a second.
Dane, do you have something to tell us?
If you could only see the hole I'm staring into my son right now.
Dad.
What, honey? Yeah.
I have something to tell you. All right, I'm done.
Okay. Well, we're done with the main portion of the show. We're going to slide into our famous segment, Tips and Bits, where we recommend some of our favorite things from recent times.
What is
Dane,
this limited to?
It's not
It's
limited
anything.
to anything.
you can
Listen,
you can
the last
recommend
time-
anything.
Boy.
Let me tell you a thing.
I'm going to have a little bit more.
Am I going first?
Go for it. Yeah, you can go first.
All right.
If you haven't seen Black Panther yet, which everybody in this room has,
Yes,
Go see
Go
it.
see Black Panther.
listen to the album afterwards.
The Kendrick album.
Stephanie was listening to the album yesterday, and she said it's just unbelievable.
It is absolutely unbelievable. I ordered the vinyl. Can't wait.
How much you spent? 90.
Not even close.
I don't pay 90
Can
for
I get the
anything.
download card from
If you want. TV shows, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Okay, great.
I
I gotta
in love
I gotta
with it.
watch it. I gotta get into it.
Books.
You're going across the board.
Why not?
Not magazines, books.
My one
I know the
time.
magazines you get.
What?
American Girl.
I don't. I don't know the magazines I get that.
Aaron gets them, you don't.
Oh. That's factual.
Yeah.
Sorry, Aaron.
Anyway, moving on.
Aaron.
Good book I'm reading. Their Eyes Were Watching God. It's by
I've heard good things about it.
Zora Neale Hurston. Wonderful.
Great.
Wow.
Yep.
I'm done.
Thank you for capping that off. For
Water is good too. You should check out Water.
us. Water's not bad. Get some.
Dad, hungry for apples?
How about them apples?
Okay, go ahead, Dad.
Dad, what are your tips and bits?
Spend time with your children.
Okay.
It's my favorite album.
Have fun. Have fun with your family.
I believe
That's-
the children are the future.
That's my first
you.
tip. So I told Perry that I have kind of gone on. You won't hear the second time I was on the show until later. So when I did the recommendations, I kind of went off on Pearl Jam. Of course, that's a given. Everybody knows that. But I've kind of gotten into a band from the 70s that you guys know about called The Jam.
Yeah.
The Jam are a great...
Paul Weller.
Yeah, Paul Weller. They are a great Manchester band. They kicked butt. They just... Everything they did covers that were spot on. They did their own stuff. And Paul Weller was one of the most underrated songwriters. I still think so.
I got Town Called Malice stuck in my head now.
Yeah, yeah.
Town
In
Called
the
Malice
City,
is one of my favorite songs I think ever written.
In the City's an unbelievable song.
Yeah.
It's not getting Jelly Bomb out of my head. Shout out John Mayer.
But that being said, I also am listening to the first show of the Baker's Dozen from New York,
From
Fish's Madison Square Garden residency last year. They are unbelievable. Dead and Company.
Yeah, we're going to see Dead and
We're going to
Company
go see
this summer.
We have a week of Dead and Company and Dave Matthews in 1 week, and we could have topped it off with Cheap Trick and Poison.
I just heard so many people's eyes roll.
Tons. Who gives it? Who cares?
I mean,
On one hand, you've got the college version of Grateful Dead with Dave Matthews, and then you're going to see the really knockoff version of Grateful Dead. We're a family of great value.
And
no name brand anywhere.
And the other thing is,
Kirk
it wasn't
points.
90. The tickets weren't $90 either.
They're cheaper, right, Dad?
Remember, I said it was your graduation present. It's your graduation present.
All right.
As the boys fist bump.
quietly fist bump.
We watch so many different TV shows. I can't pen one down. Survivor.
Amazing Race. Have you been watching Amazing Race?
We have, but we stopped because of the Olympics.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
when this show's going to air. The Olympics end on Sunday. This is a Friday.
Yeah. I've heard
so
this season's been really
The season's
good.
been really good. We have 4 episodes to go to finish, and my tweets I've tried to delete my tweets because I don't want to know who won.
Right.
I don't know. Honest to gosh, spending time with your friends and the people that you love. This has been a tough kind of year, so that's what you do.
There you go.
That's all you need.
So I'm gonna recommend a couple of things. This movie's already going to be out, I think, by the time.
Oh, and Black Panther too. Even though
Oh, yeah,
Dane
of
said
course,
it. I'm
Black
sorry. I apologize. I didn't mean to interrupt you. But Black Panther.
By the time this episode comes out, Strangers is definitely going to be out. Strangers Pray at Night is going to be out. So I'm working towards the tail end of of promoting the crap out of this movie. Go see Strangers Pray at Night. My sister-in-law Emma is playing Dollface in it. It's a slasher film. It's supposed to be fantastic. I'm going to recommend another movie. And you guys are going to laugh at me.
Of course we are.
But I watched it recently in some time off. I'd been meaning to watch it for a while. It was a big part of my childhood.
Oh God, no.
The Captain Underpants movie.
How was it?
It was really good.
Was it?
It was so good.
Look, I'm trying to get Lindsay to watch it with me. She just,
Why won't she watch it?
I don't know. She loves kids.
She likes
movies.
kids movies though.
It's so good.
Is it animated?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
It is. It is on the nose.
All right, I'm watching it later.
for Captain America or Captain
America.
Underpants.
Ladies and gentlemen, these 2 young men in front of me read every book in 2 days, and I think Dane was reading the books when he was 3 or 4 years old.
Heck, I'll still read them.
I would love to.
I
would
mean,
love to
just
go back to
I'm
them.
sure we have them upstairs,
I do.
hidden.
They're on my bookshelf.
I mean, it was so good. If that was part of your childhood or your kid's childhood or whatever, I mean, go and watch it.
Yeah.
I feel like such a
You're
dork
not. You are, but you're
recommending this, but it was such a good movie. I enjoyed it so much. It is another one of those movies where it's kind of like there's something for everybody, like the Incredibles is, or
Oh gosh, Incredibles
all
2
that.
is coming out.
I'm so excited for the new Incredibles movie to come out. Remind me to ask you a question later about a band, if you've heard them or not. It just I'm trying to. All right,
Ask it right now.
Have you heard the Main Squeeze?
No.
They're out of Chicago. They're a funk band. Fantastic.
I've heard the Main Squeeze
They have a cover of the Whipping Post by Allman
by
Brothers.
the Allman
Band.
Brothers. Yeah.
Unbelievable. I mean, the guy's voice. Oh, and they have a cover of Eyes of the World.
Mm-hmm.
That just
Dead.
blew me away.
The Grateful Dead.
I'll share a link to their YouTube page too in the description for this video or this podcast.
Who did I hear? I heard about a band today, and I heard a little bit of a song that's out today. Screaming Sisters?
Screaming Females?
Screaming Females.
They had a new album come out today.
The drop today.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about it.
And they played a song on the volume on Sirius XM, which if you have Sirius XM and you get to listen to a channel, listen to volume, it is a talk radio about music. It's so great. You get everything. I mean, Eddie Trunk, who does a metal show, it's some great radio. In the morning, you get Nick Carter and Lori Majewski that do feedback, and they are so great. Lori Majewski
Really?
loves Duran Duran, and Nick Carter just digs everything. And he likes music that we like. Like, he is a Replacements fan, and he is
Interesting.
and he's originally from Boston,
Mm-hmm.
and anyway, it's a good show. Lori
Cool.
Majewski and I and Nick Carter and I tweet back and forth to each other
Nice.
a lot.
Very cool.
And then in the afternoon, and I know I'm promoting this, and they're not even listening.
Let them know. Let 'em know
Mark
on
Goodman,
Twitter.
who was an original MTV VJ,
Love Mark Goodman.
and oh yeah, he has a show called Debatable, and that's a good show too. They do a song of the day where they get a new song, or no, scratch that. They get a song that's in their head and they play it to everybody. And then on Fridays they do new music Friday where they listen to what's out, and that's where I heard Screaming Females today.
I
And
would love to listen to that.
and I know I've gone off, but Volume is, besides the Pearl Jam channel and the Grateful Dead channel,
Your favorite channel?
That's my favorite channel. I mean, that's like, and Howard Stern.
Well, yeah, you listen to Howard a lot
Yeah.
too. So
I'm
cool.
sorry, I interrupted.
No, it's
whole
okay.
Thing.
My two recommendations are the Captain Underpants movie and Strangers 2, because this episode's going to come out, I think, by the time that Strangers Parade Night has come out. So anyway, Dane,
Perry.
where can people find you on social media if they want to follow up with you?
My Twitter handle. D Ritter, RITTER 96. My Instagram handle. I think it's just Dane Ritter. I don't know.
I'll find it. Hold on.
Yeah, that's about it. Don't friend me on Facebook. I'm not your friend.
Brutal.
That was awful.
Wow.
I'm pretty nice in person. I'm sorry.
Dad, where can people find you on
I'm trying to find
social
Dane's
media?
Instagram.
Instagram, yeah.
What's your
You keep on
Instagram?
that Instagram.
Dane's just Dane Ritter on Instagram.
So there you go. So Dad,
I'm Ritter5 on Instagram.
and Twitter?
RITTER5. I am JD Ritter 2 at JD Ritter 2 on the Twitter. And do not follow me on Facebook unless you are a friend of Bourbon, Pearl Jam, or
kindness.
love. Perry Ritter.
Well, if you want to follow the show on Instagram and Twitter, we are at My Bourbon Shop. We are This Is My Bourbon Shop on Facebook. You can email the show on thisismybourbonshop@gmail.com. If you would like to check out our Threadless store, it is bourbonshop.threadless.com. We got a lot of cool shirts and apparel and other accessories up there. If you want to become a patron of the show, you can head to patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month, all the way up to $50 a month.
I'd go $50, yeah, just to help
sure.
you out. Help a brother out here.
Why not just make it 90? Get me away from this microphone.
Why not?
It's almost time. Don't worry. Give us a rate and review on iTunes. We had a 2-star review recently, so
What the-
keep outweighing that.
It wasn't the one that I was on, was it?
No, I don't know.
'Cause
It's not per episode.
It's
It's not per episode. It's the whole show. Anyway,
Really?
Yeah, 2-star review. Sucks.
Why?
No idea. Didn't leave a comment or anything. Just 2 stars.
got a name for that.
So
It was me.
You've never even heard the show.
I don't know. What?
So keep counteracting that. We would love for you to leave a little review of the show as well. Thank you all so much for listening. We really appreciate your continued support.
We're pink.
We're pink.
I'm shaking Perry's hand, even though I'm not. You can't see. It's the beauty of a
We're
podcast.
shaking hands right now.
Thank you for having me
Can
on
you
the
hear
show,
it?
Perry.
Shaking hands. Thank
Listen
you for
to the
being on
sound
the
of
show.
hands shaking.
Thank you for having us on the show.
You're very welcome. Thank you guys for
Can
being
we do
on
this
the show.
again?
Oh, absolutely. If you'll
No.
We'll do it without you. No,
Oh,
See,
great.
I'm not wanted here.
yes, you are.
Well, on that note, thank you all so much for listening. We will see you next week. Until then, I'm Perry, and this is my Bourbon Podcast.